Hi there, and welcome back to Out There, a Cryptid podcast. I'm your host, Josh. Each week I come out with a new episode focused on a cryptid that I find super fascinating and weird. And if you still don't know what a cryptid is, it is defined as an animal that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist. Now, cryptids don't have to be supernatural or mythical beings, although many of them are. Some cryptids have actually become documented animals. Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at Out There Cryptids and check out the posts I make for each episode and maybe send some suggestions you'd like to hear. Today's episode is a full Weird Club with my sisters, Jenna and Alissa, about the famous Mothman. Now, if you didn't listen to last week's episode, I'd suggest doing that because you probably will get a better idea of what we're talking about in this episode. So, buckle up because this one is crazy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Out There, a Cryptid podcast. Dun, dun, dun. Today, we have a special episode featuring the Kring family siblings. Welcome back, Jenna and Alissa. Thanks for coming again. You kind of had to because you're my siblings, and if you didn't show up, it would be awkward.
Well, thank goodness for Zoom, because here we all are representing all across the USA.
Yeah, we're everywhere. That is true. So first off, what are your first thoughts on Mothman? Just don't even think about it too hard because your brain will hurt. Just like right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't like it. Doesn't make me feel good inside.
I agree.
My brain hurts. I think that's the first thing that comes to my mind. There are a lot of viable theories here, and I'm not sure which way I'm going with it. I know which way I'm not going with it, but I am overwhelmed.
That's what this was one where like I usually read a lot more articles online rather than watching documentaries about it. Because well, one, it's much easier to like read and like write rather than having to listen and then write. I don't know, just for me. But with this one, I watched 3 different documentaries, and each one of them had a different like decision at the end that I was like, oh, I could kind of see that. So that's why we had to do 5 subsections of plausible theories, I guess. But I guess we should just dive on in and let's start.
Before we dive on in,
oh yeah,
real quick, when you guys were like wee infant babies, I went to see Mothman Prophecies in theaters. Really, really cool. And I want to tell you, I had no idea what was going on, but this really kind of put it all together for me. So I'm gonna have to rewatch it now.
Now you understand.
Weird ass movie though. Weird ass movie.
I remember watching the document because there's a documentary that they made as well. Like back in 2003 or something like that. Like I think before the movie came out or right after. But I have vivid memories of sitting on the couch and watching that in our family room. So that one kind of brought me back a little bit as well. Except I didn't see the Mothman Prophecies.
Made no sense. Yeah. No idea what was going on.
That's how I still feel about Mothman. So here we are.
Right. I was going to say, I still feel a little confused. So let's start off with the Sandhill crane. I just want to say, I feel so bad for this crane because it gets blamed for every single flying man-like creature. And I don't understand it. Oh, my biggest thing is its legs are twigs. Like what? Who is gonna think, oh my gosh, that's a man? Because if that's a man,
nothing like a man.
Nothing like a man. And if it is, they skipped leg
like
day.
That skit from what was that TV show, Mad TV, where it was like he looked like a man, but it's opposite of
that. Oh, Mad TV.
I've never looked at a crane before and said, huh, that's not a crane. That's definitely something else.
Yeah. And like, even I guess in Jersey Devil, it made a little more sense for me because the hoof, like the horse-like legs, I guess you could see it being skinnier legs. It still was a no for me, but that's all I have.
Mothman has like no neck. like
No
a
neck
no
nation.
neck.
No
Mm.
I
neck.
mean, actually no neck. And crane is like 50% neck. That is the opposite of descriptions of Mothman.
Yeah. But this is one thing.
That's like, I see that giraffe there, but it could potentially be a groundhog. Like, no.
I mean, that's pretty spot on.
I have to
Yeah,
write
it's not
that
wrong.
down. That was good. That might be your quote for the
No,
episode.
no. There's so much time left.
Oh my gosh. Oh well, I'll just have to write it down when I go back and edit, you know.
Also, is Mothman gonna be pissed that I called it a no neck? Now I feel
Oh yeah, he
probably.
coming.
I mean, this thing. Well, I guess last time it was seen in Chicago though, so you might be fine. Might be fine, you know.
But there's no pattern of where he shows up. He just pops up.
It's a lot of windows behind me.
And they're new and beautiful windows too.
Thank you so much.
And keep you nice and warm.
Renewal by Anderson, everybody on the East Coast.
Sponsored. So I feel like Crane, we could just like right off the bat be like, nah, brah, cannot be. And then we go to these fucking owls. Ugh. Just when I thought my fear of owls was gone, I see this Stygian owl or whatever, and no, it's gone. It's back. Yeah. And it's better than ever. And I'm scared.
See, I thought the red eyes were bad because I actually looked it up when I was listening. And the red eyes aren't great, but this picture with his head all exorcist-like,
yeah, I don't like it.
I actually am cool with owls, like super into it, soups into owls, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, I feel like I also like really, like I personally victimized that owl by choosing that photo as well. Like I could have, like there were so many other ones where it was just like chilling in a tree. Some of them looked bad. Ew, I don't want to see it again. I know what it looks like.
I'm helping.
I didn't know its head was turned too for like a long time. See, like that thing.
Not look at it, just pick a random picture and you're like, yeah, that sounds good.
No, I looked at the eyes. Like that's what I did. I looked at the eyes first and said, it's good enough, you know? And
no,
I didn't want to look at
the eyes are not how eyes normally are, Joshua.
Yeah, well, it's a fear, and you only need to see one of them. You only need to see one of them to know that thing is a monster and could kill me.
I don't think it could kill you. Real talk. It is not a large owl. I mean, it's large in owl size, but it's not large like I saw a grown man with no neck and a moth head running alongside my car and told the people in the back to duck down. Like, that was not an owl.
I also love that Mothman wanted to flex that he didn't have to fly. Like he can also run really fast.
That's a big thing about Mothman, and I'm gonna need to talk through that in a little bit. But a big thing about Mothman is he's like, yeah, I did the part where I flew at them. That was effective. But what I want to do next is I want to jump from tree to tree in a way that they see it. Ooh, that was also effective. Now I want to just stand near them and see how they do. And then when that worked, it's like, I'm going to need to outdo myself. Let me run alongside this car at very high speeds. Like, Jesus, Mothman, I think you had him at the flying.
Like, see, he or she or they really just said yes and. It was improv. It was like, next step, let's take it to the next level.
You're thinking the word scat, and that's not what it is, right?
Squiddly-doo-bop, jaboop-da-bop.
But I think that like pretty much rules out any type of animal theory, because clearly they have some kind of intelligence beyond just an animal creature that's existing in the wild.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
On the animal theories.
Yeah, I mean, like, and my big thing is like, you know, yes, I too, if I saw an owl in person, and I would like, if you like, from my one owl sighting that I've had, I'm pretty sure it was a great horned owl. I don't know because I didn't see any horns, but I'm assuming it was a great horned owl. 2, I would say its wingspan was at least 10 feet. And it flew in front of the car that I was in, and I felt doom. I felt depressed. I felt scared. So that could have been the Owl Man. for all I know. But
or
the whole
it could
point
have
of
been
that,
like a tiny little bug that you assumed was an owl.
It's called anxiety, buddy.
exactly. And has mom told you about the owl that lives here?
Where are you pointing?
Well, like, outside.
My
that
closet owl.
You see that thing up there? It lives in here. No, but I'm pretty sure there's a great horned owl that like roams around the trees around this house, because it makes like the typical hoot 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 sounds, right? And I looked it up, and apparently only great horned owls actually hoot like that.
So what I'm hearing is this: Josh is so crazy that he's pictured and heard the sound of an owl outside his house that does not exist.
I'm just so amazed that you think that that's what mom calls to tell me. Like, did you hear about Josh's owl?
Mom doesn't tell you about that? That's like a lot of the things we talk about.
She hasn't told me about your owl.
The other thing is I sent a picture of a robin that I saw and said, first robin of the season. And she said, me, Dad, and Maisie saw one today too. And I said, maybe it's the same one. It's not. But yeah, I think that there's like a lot of paranoia and anxiety when it comes to owls in general. But I don't think that Mothman is an owl.
Nah.
So one thing that like, there's a whole bunch of different people that saw this, right? Not related. Mm-hmm. They all have different stories. So it's not like they heard a description and then they went off the same thing, because they're all describing different stuff. But the guy that did the sketches, talking to multiple different witnesses, said that they were all similar enough in their main characteristics that he believed they were all describing the same thing, right?
Yep. Yeah.
There is absolutely some level of unreliability to witness identification, trust me. But that is not like misidentifications from owl to human Mothman. You know what I mean? Like, there are minor discrepancies. There are not multiple people describing an owl that they believe to be a full-ass man.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going, I feel like it's debunked.
Yeah.
That's a no on the owl. That
debunked. Ghost Bros. Sponsor me. But the thing I have to admit, I made this, like, how I talked about the Monster Quest team, how they did the different like cutouts of the Mothman. So they did this like the different cutout thing. Well, I also kind of made it sound a lot cooler than it actually was, because I think that I think that like the guy who did it was really trying to prove that witnesses were unreliable. Like, we're really trying to be like, and all of them didn't like made up the wrong heights. And in the editing of the show, they made it seem that way. But then when it went to his conclusion, he said no more than 3 people got one wrong. And I'm like, so what, sir? I think what you just found out is that your test failed, and that people actually did have a pretty good judgment of what they were seeing. Then again,
I think there's a difference between like, I can't remember if the guy's hat was red or blue, and that was 2 feet versus 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I mean, when we're talking about misidentification and even factoring in that they were afraid, probably less of an owl than Mothman, I think that you're talking about different things. Like, your witness identification is unreliable in details, not in what you saw as a general concept. And it sounds like their details are somewhat consistent. Yeah. Based on the fact that a sketch artist believes that they were somewhat consistent.
Exactly. That's like, and the sketch artist is a forensic like professor at the University of Virginia or something, somewhere in the area. So it wasn't like this was a sketch artist that's like into cryptids, that would be like, yeah, I think, and he was like, he actually got to interview a lot of the people we talk about in this episode, like Linda Scarberry and he talked to another witness who I didn't put in the episode, but her sighting's also pretty famous. She talked to the one who told her sibling, the one where Mothman was right next to her face in the window.
That's rude.
And
that one was real rude, Mothman.
But also her
if you're
brother
coming at me, don't do the car. I don't like windows. That's just messed up.
But then I also like I am also like her brother telling her don't look out the window. What do you think she like? What if I were in that place? I'd be like, okay, well now I have to look out the window. Like
if we were in that place, I would tell you to look out the window. Look out the window, motherfucker.
Like signs all over again.
It's not an owl.
Or it is. Whatever you're more afraid of, it's definitely that one.
Yeah, right. The thing that I did find interesting in my like research of it though was that, and I can't really remember if I put this in the podcast or not, but nobody actually described it as a moth. No one said it was a giant moth. The only reason it was called Mothman was because of one of the reporters took it from the killer moth from Batman comics. So that was one thing I did find interesting. But then again, if you look at Linda Scarberry's like sketch, which is in the first Instagram post, that was her sketch after seeing the Mothman, and she was like, "That's what we saw." And this gets into our next thing about explaining a cryptid with another cryptid. I think that they're like with Owlman, we've got it looks like an owl, but it's a man. Whereas this one, they didn't even say it looked like an owl. The only thing they said, it was a man and it had red eyes and wings. And then Linda said it had no neck, or everybody else also said it had no neck. So like, I feel like although I would love to explain a cryptid with a cryptid, in this case, I just don't see the correlation between Owlman and, especially because Owlman just had a lot of other sketchy things that made me feel like it was not real. But
I think there is something to be said though about, and when we get into the other, potential explanations, maybe we can go into this more, but there's something to be said about something that's seen in multiple places over multiple periods of time. And I think that's more in the, paranormal realm, or, on the alien side, which is where I'm going to come out on this.
Yes.
But, I've always been interested, if there's a cryptid that is isolated to one particular area, that leads me to believe you're more in your cryptid or actual animal territory, right? Like, this is something that is seen in this area. Maybe it exists and we haven't discovered it yet. Like, that's a big category for me. When you have something that has been described by people that lived in different time periods that didn't see it from other time periods, I mean, like, I don't think that and I don't mean this in any kind of way, but I don't think that a small town in Virginia is maybe doing like a ton of art history and seeing sculptures that were dug up from, Asia I'm not gonna out myself on how dumb I am on art history, but what I'm gonna say is I think that there's something to be said for when you have reported, and that's why I always ask about those Native American legends too, when you have that over time report of something in not an urban legend way, but in a way that this group doesn't know about this report. And that actually lends a lot of credibility to me on this. And that's why I wondered whether Owlman, is it possible that it is the same kind of thing with just worse descriptions?
Yeah. And I mean, like Alissa can also say, because she was on that episode, but with Owlman, it came like, even if there is an Owlman there, I feel like the witness tampering just screwed the pooch. Like, we have this,
and the fact that the witnesses were so young, and it was like a similar demographic with the people that saw it in the same place. It's not the same as Mothman with the different ages and different areas and stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the big things too is like what I've been getting not frustrated with, but what I really look for now that I'm doing more and more cryptids and I'm really getting to know a lot of them on a personal level, I get like frustrated when there's no photo evidence. And that comes with this one as well. It's like, Yes, the first major, like the big hunk of sightings was in the 1960s when, no one had cell phones and no one had a camera next to them at all times, like we do now. So that does make sense to me. And there are a good amount of like photo evidence for it being a cryptid that's not Bigfoot, because Bigfoot, I mean, you Google
But I think
that and
there's
you're
a difference in the existence of those two cryptids. Like Bigfoot's just chilling out in the woods, hanging out, living his life. And
Mhm.
Mothman clearly has a different MO in these different areas he's going into. Like I think he's got a level of intelligence that's different than a lot of the other cryptids we talk about.
Yeah. And the other cryptid it's been linked to, Thunderbird. I that doesn't even make sense to me because Thunderbird is literally a giant bird. Like it's a bird. So that one I was again like ruled out. Now the next thing is it being a mutant of some sort. So basically the TNT plant, rented out and everything. And I guess like this, I mean, this one, I think for me when I was growing up and, like doing all like cryptid watching and everything, I always knew as Mothman, like the origin of it being, or like the thing that it was a mutant, like caused by the toxic waters in that part of the TNT area. But now that I've heard the other like paranormal aspect and the alien aspect, I feel like it's not a mutant. I just don't, like Alissa and you have and Jenna have both said, like it's too smart, like it's way too intelligent to be a moth that somehow became a person.
Yeah, I'm not going with your Spider-Man theory.
Which would be cool.
But if it is like a mutant, is it like running, like how, if it's traveling from these different areas, how has no one sighted it in between its locations, Like
Yeah.
if it was like something walking on foot, like Bigfoot, we would have a lot more sightings than what we have now.
Right. And even
appearing out of
Yeah.
nowhere, hanging out for a bit and it's like deuces and see like leaves again.
He's like, peace. It's like, I mean, even following like with the other sightings in that kind of general area, like Ohio, Pennsylvania area, throughout the 1970s, 80s, there wasn't like a clear line, as if it was on a path. It just looked like it was in random parts.
It's like weird clusters.
Yeah.
In terms of sightings, is it always clusters or were there sort of like one-offs in different areas? Because the clusters, I mean, that's really what makes me lean towards the sort of demonic, you know, appears when something bad is going to happen kind of a thing. If they're all seen in a certain area at the same time. Because it is weird to me that there's not sightings throughout the US with such a well-known cryptid.
Right.
But I think that would also go in turn with aliens too. I mean, if it's something like from a different place, if they're coming and studying for a specific amount of time and probing and trying to get information and then piecing out once they have it.
Yeah.
I think that would also, I'm really into piecing out tonight. I don't know what's going on with me.
And Mothman just
deuces.
Except he doesn't have that, so it just
it's just one finger.
Just
what do you call it? Onesies? I don't know.
He's like wing out. Yeah, I mean,
Does he have a mouth? I know he doesn't have a beak. Can he even say deuces?
We don't know. Like everybody that's seen
no one's described the mouth.
No one's described him. Or no, I mean,
someone said no beak.
Yeah, someone said no beak. Yeah. They made it clear there was no beak, but they didn't say if it was a mouth or not.
And I remember watching something else or listening to something else and saying that he like came to a door and he looked like a man in a suit, but his like dimensions were off. But it was enough that like he rang the doorbell and they opened it thinking it was a man, and then it clearly wasn't, and they were like, "Yeah, bye," and like closed the door and ran away.
Oh gosh, he's just like, I'm gonna say it. He's a dick.
He looked like a man.
He looked like a man. He's not a man. No, I just like Mothman's a dick. Like,
yeah,
I really think his intention is to scare, which is a lot different than a lot of our other cryptids. Like, I think a lot of our cryptids are just existing, and then we have this guy, and I'm like, he don't like you.
Well, existing, and a lot of them don't really seem to want to be seen.
Exactly.
Like, This one is like, hey guys,
Yeah.
Check me out
look
over
what I
this
can do.
bridge.
Like, I'm gonna
Like,
scare the shit out of you,
real
bitch.
creepy.
Yeah. And like, I mean, and you know, just doing Dogman too, which was another cryptid that seems to not be like a chill, you know, I'm just living here, minding my own business. Like that thing apparent, you know, like searches out conflict, which is a toxic issue that should be resolved, but you know.
That's why it's got a real demon vibe to me. Like a
Hmm.
real, it's like, you know, the combination of how can I mess with these people? The the woman that like falls over paralyzed. Now listen, it is not let's get this right. Fight or flight. It is actually fight, flight, or freeze.
Freeze.
Hmm.
Freeze is a real thing, so that could be very explainable.
Yeah.
However, it also strikes me as a if there were a demonic presence that could definitely mess with you in that way.
Yeah.
And then you have the like the whole bridge catastrophe and
Mhm.
the fact that people are dreaming about it. That to me, like, listen, I think some people probably have some weird abilities that maybe they were just dreaming about it. But also, if I were a demon that was like, I'm gonna come mess up this
Mhm.
bridge, it would seem more fun to me to like get in a bunch of people's heads about it at
Hmm.
the same time. And that just, I mean, it just gives me a real, like, he's either like an alien dick or a
Mm.
demon.
I
Yeah.
mean, it could be some kind of alien figure testing out how humans handle fear.
Yeah. I mean,
That's true too.
that's the thing. I mean, the one thing that for me has, well, I'm torn between to
Yeah,
be
I
like,
was all in on
Mhm.
demon, and then you had the men in black, and I was like, and the
exactly.
alien with the red eyes, and I was like, well,
Mhm.
that feels on brand too.
Yeah, I was just about to say there. Like, I I I still have no idea which
Mhm.
one it is. What I do
Well,
think is
and
really interesting. What were you saying? Go ahead.
no, you go.
Oh, okay. What I do think is really interesting though is the whole Native American legend of that area being called the haunted spot.
Mhm.
I love a good curse. What was also interesting, though, I know we jumped out of owls. I'm going to jump back in.
Hop
Mhm.
back in.
The super creepy sideways owl
Hmm.
wasn't that the one that there were also legends in Mexico of it being like an omen of bad news?
Yeah,
So that's also interesting to me in the sense that like, you know, could they have misidentified the other way? I mean,
yeah.
like
They're like,
like
oh, it's an owl.
because that's also
Oh.
what the demon is whose name I'm not going to pronounce you know historically
Right.
was also like bad weather and sort of the same concept, and
Right.
so to have it like in all these different areas with the same general description and being like, listen, we don't know what it is but it feels like something bad is going to happen, that is fascinating to me.
Yeah. I I just like uh, it's so, I mean, because the whole thing actually, Adam, your husband, was the one that sent me the owl with the red eyes on Instagram.
What
He
a
like
dick.
sent it to me and I was like, wait, like but it, and again, we're just jump back into the owls. The thing that did freak me out a little bit and made me think it's a little more plausible than, you know, like another owl, was the fact that not only in one is it like where it's native in Mexico, people have their superstitions about it, but then two, in like the early 2000s, there were reported sightings in Ohio of these owls that should not technically be there. Um, but you know, I also think with the demon, well, I guess like from what I know and from what we've learned about demons, I guess, which is, you know, hard to say because really, what do we know?
Mhm.
Um, is that some do have the ability to form into like whatever, like, you know,
Right.
whatever they want. Um, and owls have always been a part of that, like creepy, you know, like whenever you think of a haunted house, you think of an owl sitting outside. Um, so like I think that that also plays into the legend of it. You know, like you said, is it a reverse, whatever, reverse thingy majiggy? I can't
So I
remember.
also love the idea of I love a Native American curse. Let me just put this out
Hmm.
here. Like ancient burial ground. Love it. I mean,
Hmm.
this stuff is fascinating to me. And I can't figure out how I actually think. Like I'm all in on it. I just can't figure out how, again, I can rectify it with my other theories. Like, was it a curse on the land in that you summoned an ancient demon that hadn't been there otherwise, and now it's gonna mess with everybody? Like, I'm into that.
Yeah.
But or is it like you summoned some part of nature that is this owl that is something more supernatural than this owl, and that's what you've summoned? Or
Yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
you could technically call an alien. That feels a little more
Well, they
far-fetched.
have elemental spirits that are like spirits of the land, so it
mhm.
could be, and they're much stronger. So it, what you're saying could be an elemental that we somehow like unleashed.
Yeah, and Cornstalk was a very powerful chief. I mean, the Shawnee people are one of the like tribes that had a very high population and was very successful. And Cornstalk, you know, if anybody could call a very powerful demon, it would be him, especially when he's as mad as he is. Um,
So my
because
question would be, if it is an elemental and it is some kind of curse, like when is it deciding to like pop up? Like, are we triggering it in some way to make it appear? It's not consistent, so it's not
right,
happening over and over again. It's not in the same area. So are these different areas doing something to trigger this elemental? Is it just like, oh, he's like, oh yeah, this 20 years from now and 40 years from now, you're gonna pop
yeah.
back up. Like, go ahead, buddy. Like
He woke up from his nap and he's like, oh, I should go
I had to go
fuck
back
up
here.
some shit
Like,
real
here's
quick.
some
1
people.
second.
Well, that's a big thing too. Like, is it coming because something bad is going to happen and it's like, ooh, I'm feeling the energy, like I'm going to mess with some people? Or does it actually create the bad
Mhm.
thing? And I actually feel like it's the former. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like it's like, ooh, I feel something cool's going to happen and I'm ready to like mess with people around that time. But during the time that there were all the sightings, those are really close in time to the bridge incident, right?
The first sighting is exactly 1 month, like to the day, from when the bridge collapsed. Um, and I remember before doing all this research, I actually really did think that Mothman was um like some kind of warning of doom. Like I really thought that this cryptid was an omen, not an omen in the sense of like a bad omen, or well, I mean, yes, a bad omen, but a way to try to warn people that something was going to happen. But
And
then
then he was
after
running
like,
alongside of
yeah,
cars.
then he's like
Yeah. No,
terrorizing people, and
Why is he messing with the lady with her kid? Like, come on, Mothman.
like and
She
okay, here's
killed
the
on her child. Like,
yeah,
be better.
like, and then
Be
then
better.
then he proceeds to go to the door and try to open it
Yeah.
Mhm.
With the other children inside.
with the 3 other children inside. Oh heck no.
Well, weren't there kids in the car when he's running alongside it too that they tell to duck in the back? Like, he is
Yeah,
not being kind to the chillins.
he don't care.
No,
He
you
don't care.
don't care.
He don't care. I mean, like, and the only one that I will say I feel like he was justified in fighting back was when Topper, the older brother, started throwing rocks at him. I was like, listen, I feel like, he's up on a roof. This is your time to just get out of there.
What
Just,
I want to know is where Topper is now, because I feel like that was an error in judgment that maybe followed him throughout life.
you know, I hope
Come
that,
on, Topper.
yeah, like Topper, bro, you got 2 little children's in the back there, and you throwing rocks at this thing?
You know who actually, Topper, bad choices. You know who I really think had bad choices? The people that rolled up to that area and they were like, let's provoke it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I think it'd be more fun than, just trying to cite it. I'm going to try to make it mad to talk to me.
Yeah.
And like, that's actually a big reason that I'm in on demonic, is because they had something that stayed with them,
And
and then
follow them.
there was paranormal stuff in the house. And clearly Mothman does not want blood because he hasn't had any. And it just feels like something you would say if you were messing with people and trying to make them scared.
Yeah.
And like, I don't see aliens. I mean, I guess there's something to the theory that like it's an alien trying to figure out what people are afraid of, but
Yeah.
the alien switch to paranormal activity in the home
Mm-hmm.
is less
No, I hear you.
is less believable to me. Now, that being said, who knows what other spirits that couple pissed off? if they're just running around trying to, mess with things that are scary.
And that's like, I mean, the one thing, like, when because in the dome, when they heard like the blood that in the AVP and everything,
Thunderdome.
yeah, in the Thunderdome, I was kind of like, okay, well, this place is creepy. Like, there's probably a ton of spirits that are just chilling in here, or like, someone got drunk there and whatever. But the one thing that did creep me out that I haven't heard of, like, and I've seen a good amount of ghost shows. I feel like I've heard, a lot of what poltergeists and demons can do. The phone call where it said, "I'm going to eat your light."
Mm-hmm.
That thing, I said, I'm okay. I'm actually fine. I'm going to keep on my light and we're going to keep on going.
So I went two ways with that. First of all, terrifying and something I could really see a demon saying, because like, light and dark, and really if you take it back biblically. But on the other side, like the irony of that being what Mothman said when moths like light, like I couldn't get past, like, if I were somebody that was like, I'm gonna call these people and pretend I'm Mothman, like that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
and
genius.
I just really want to give a shout out to Mothman on that, because I really think that it was both creepy and ironic. And I just, when we're talking about that high intelligence, like, well done, sir.
I hear y'all, but I'm not willing to let go of aliens. I feel like that could easily have been an alien not understanding how like human bodies work.
Or like, understanding too much of how the human body works.
Right. And I feel like they could be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take your light, like something that we don't even freaking know about our own bodies. And like, oh crap, don't take my light. Yeah.
You think aliens make phone calls?
I mean, I don't put it past him. He's running next to cars and sticking his faces in windows.
Do you think they have Verizon or AT&T? Which one covers intergalactic?
Yeah,
probably AT&T.
I feel like they just like send it straight into their brains. Like, who needs a phone?
So they need to come down here and start fixing. Like, come on, guys. Well,
okay, I ain't willing to let go of that Men in Black stuff. Was my thing. Like, yeah. I hear you on the demon things, and I can agree. But like, why are Men in Black suits showing up if it's a demon?
And the other thing that I found interesting about the Men in Black is that it wasn't just Men in Black. So I didn't include all of the Men in Black or weird people stories because there were a lot. But like Mary Hyre, who was the famous journalist who kind of started the whole Mothman trend, she had like people visit her, and she said that there was like she would have these weird people. One person like would came in and he would just smile at her and like ask her questions about like the Mothman and things. And then she said like, in her interview, she was like, I kind of just thought it was like a some dude that was interested in Mothman. She was like, I mean, like, yeah, he seemed off to me, but not off enough that I was like, this isn't a real person. She said the thing that got her was he picked up a ballpoint pen and was, you okay? You see Mothman?
Mothman?
I think it's just a car.
Oh, okay. That was creepy. That was a fast turn. Like
something came to eat my light.
Oh, well, kiss it goodbye. But she literally said that he like picked up the ballpoint pen and looked at it like as if he was like astonished.
They've never seen a ballpoint pen before.
And the thing is that it happened in the 80s, right when the ballpoint pen became super famous in America. So she was like, I don't know, man, but it's like weird. And then we have a woman in black, I guess is what you would call her. Like, first off, women power. That's right. A woman alien coming down. She's coming down. She said, I'm a secretary, bitch. I'm using your women are only secretaries against you guys to get your information. But like, I just, other than Roswell or those other sightings, I haven't seen a Men in Black, like so many Men in Black stories in one place. Yeah.
Guys, this is heating up and I'm really excited to go into the alien part of this, but I again have to pee. So can we
I'm about to pee my pants.
Okay, great.
Take a breaker.
Potty break.
Refresh my bev, get a pee, and then I'll be right back.
Great. Elevator music will begin.
Sorry, everybody.
Okay, we're back, everybody. How was your bathroom breaks? Everybody
It was nice. Thank
everybody
you.
do good?
Yeah, I mean,
I ran really fast because my house is dark, and then I had to go in the garage for a cerveza, and I didn't like it one bit.
Mothman's in there like, sup, bitch.
I mean, I've been real rude, so that would be fair.
Heard you talking about me, huh?
We're closest to the sightings too,
It's
Jenna.
like, oh, is this no neck?
How about this? What does this look like? Huh? Then he throws up an actual deuces and then just like got out
Creepy owl neck turning a deuces.
But
we were talking about the men in black and the woman in black also.
Right, but
we were all the way in.
Is there anything else in the supernatural world that we feel like we need? Well, we didn't talk about Pazuzu that much. I mean, I don't know.
That's the biggest. I don't want to say the biggest, but that is one of the bigger elements for me. And that's, sort of talking about it being described similarly over periods of time in very different places. And again, that's the one that's it was a bad omen there, in the same way. And I just don't see that being they weren't described similarly enough that if someone was going to make up Mothman, that they'd be like, I got an idea. This is good. This, listen to this, guys. But that is in terms of demons, they're forever, right? I mean, in theory, the demon is forever and can manifest, I think, in different ways and wherever, whenever. So, that actually explains a lot more to me in these gaps of time. Is it in Chicago? Is it in Virginia? Is it in Asia? Is it in we don't know where it is.
Right.
Because why would they be sharing that? But it's been around forever. And that gives me, that lends a lot of credibility to me on that. But I guess my question is why were they sure that was a demon? Historically, how do they know that that's not an alien?
And there's probably an Ancient Aliens episode on that, where they go into much depth about demons as aliens. From watching a bunch of Ancient Aliens, I will say that a lot of religious things could very well have been aliens. The idea that there are these angels who come down with wings and have a light around them. And again, it's Ancient Aliens, so you do have to go into it understanding that they are going to pull at little tiny straws. They're just, the one glimpse of something, they're going to be like alien. So you do, but then there are other things where you're like, well, that kind of makes sense to me. So, but I think the thing that is interesting about this demon in particular is that Pazuzu wasn't really made famous. I guess famous is a strong word, but it wasn't popularized until The Exorcist came out, which was much later. Well, I guess not much later, but it was later. It was not in the 60s when Mothman was being sighted and stuff like that. So
I feel like that would give even more theory for it actually being a demon. I think if people hold on to it more, you'd see a lot more fake sightings. But since we have consistent sightings and they seem like they're similar in nature, I think that just strengthens that argument.
To be clear, I only knew about this demon because of the murderer. Do you guys know about this guy? Yeah, so that's the only reason I knew about him. He was obsessed and had he was a Satanist killer, I guess. So that was why I knew about him. But otherwise, not a publicized demon.
No, it's not like Beelzebub or the famous trio, which I have to say I only figured out was a demon by watching the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch series. And then when you listen to Bohemian Rhapsody, they say his name. And I was like, oh, I thought that was a made up word. This is awkward. Here's the one thing though that I am a little with in terms of John Keel, who Mothman Prophecies came up with that idea of there being a metaphysical window or wormhole type thing. I mean, from doing Skinwalker Ranch and the research on that, I think that this one is different than, I think the Skinwalker Ranch one is a wormhole, but I think this one is more like a metaphysical window that would be to some more of a supernatural place and not a physical other world place. Or I guess supernatural, there could be a world for it, but I think that like it's not linked back in time. I think it's linked to another, either a dimension or I don't know, metaphysical place. I don't know what a better way to say that is. But what do you think about that part?
Don't Google images of Pazuzu, for the record. I immediately regret that.
Yeah, that was the only one I could find that was like appropriate to put onto and not terrifying.
I kind of want to do it.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
That's okay. In terms of metaphysical windows, what are your thoughts on that?
So I don't know that I think there's enough activity in that one location. Like, I mean, I know that the majority of the sightings that we have in the episode are from there, but then you have the ones from Chicago, and you have, the curse. And so I think I'm probably more on team curse than the idea, because there's not enough there, right? Like,
yeah,
I just don't think, like, Skinwalker Ranch, like there was everything. Like, what wasn't there? And so that strikes me as like, that is so many things to explain,
right,
that I can't get around the idea that there was, some kind of portal or wormhole or something.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that much. This has a period of time where this is present. It has some kind of alien activity, whether that is related to Mothman or not. It definitely happened.
Yeah.
But then, like, Mothman's in other places, so I think I'm less on board with that in this particular case.
Yeah. Liz, what do you think?
No, I think I'm on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't lend itself.
Enough.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there'd be a bunch more stuff.
And even, yeah, and like there would be a more variety of things too, I would think. At least, I mean, then again, we don't fucking know wormholes, but I feel like there are other explanations that would make more sense. So basically where we are right now is we are still in between. It's either a demon, and now we can dive into more of this alien thing. But we've narrowed it down to 2 of the 5 subsections.
Can I present a kind of
demon versus aliens? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I do a hybrid theory here?
I would love that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we all know that our nephew / your son is really into the Godzilla movies right now.
Yeah. Weirdly into it.
Godzilla, they have like a normal world with kind of like a cryptid that pops up, but the cryptid somewhat belongs to different people. So like Mothman or Mothra is what I'm trying to say. Mothra. Okay. So what if this like creature like thing, Mothman, is similar to like Mothra in that movie, and it showed up, and now the aliens are trying to like understand it like the humans were in Godzilla, and they showed up after Mothman to get more information on Mothman because they were also curious in harnessing his powers.
I like
so
it.
I actually had a question. I didn't get that far, but in terms of like the alien sighting with the red eye glowy Mothman type alien,
Flatwoods monster.
Are they one, or is it Mothman and an alien together?
So in terms of Flatwoods monster, that one, no one claimed to see an alien, or no one claimed to see Mothman with Flatwoods. Flatwoods is a completely different cryptid. The only thing that links it is the red eyes and the location, how the proximity of locations. The only person that has really been able to link Mothman to any kind of alien is the woman we talked about, who in the episode who saw the UFO and Mothman flying along with it.
Well, that's what I mean. Is it Mothman hanging out with an alien,
or is it the aliens after
or is
the Mothman
the alien? Yeah,
I think. And I
are they one, or is it like 2 things that just happen?
I feel like, so from reading a bunch of the Men in Black reports, I feel like these Men in Black acted differently than others. And I know that's like a loaded statement because, like, what do we really know about Men in Black and stuff like that? But from the most part, what we hear about Men in Black is that they tell you not to talk about what you saw. Like they threaten you, and there are threats in here. They definitely did threaten people, but it seemed like a lot of Men in Black / other weird people that came to town, I guess, that seemed extraterrestrial, were curious about it. We're more asking questions, as in, like, what do you know? Because we need that information. Um, and like the fact that they went to the, like, one thing I didn't include is one of the women who had one of the earlier sightings. She was the one that got the note slipped under her door that said, "Beware, we can get you yet, girl." She actually was physically, like, grabbed by the Men in Black as they were driving their car, and they tried to bring her into the car with them, which is then also, I mean, that brings up a bunch of questions of, like, you know, how do you then get her into the UFO and stuff like that? But that's not the point because it didn't happen. She was safe. But I just, like, and I don't know what it is. I just feel like I think it's what you're saying, Alyssa. I think it is that these aliens are interested in whatever Mothman is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's an alien. I think they are like, something's wrong with that thing, and I want to know more about it.
Well, and that makes sense. Like, why is Men in Black there? Well, there's clearly alien sightings. Like,
Right.
the things that are alien, like, could have been Men in Black. I mean,
Yeah.
like, to say that I believe the parts of this that are alien.
Mhm.
I just don't know that I believe Mothman is the part of this that is alien.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the whole, like, flying suits that the military was testing at the time?
That is a fascinating, like, coincidence. I'm not your girl for government conspiracies. You know,
Me either.
that's not a me thing. Not to say that there's not anything that's ever been tested or anything weird, but
Right.
you know, I think that could there have been a sighting attributed to something they were testing that was identified as Mothman? Yes. Does it explain something with red eyes running along the side of a car? No.
No.
And I can tell you, I mean, firsthand, my husband's in the military, and when they test out new equipment, they don't do it in areas where people are going to see them.
Yeah. And
If it's like early on, they're going to make sure that no one can see them. They're testing it at different times of night, so you don't know it's happening. Like, the idea of someone spotting it while someone's testing it is very unlikely in my book.
yeah, it would seem like the military was really lacking on their usual skills of being able to protect their information by, like, the town then going to hunt for, like, going to drive on the road and then seeing the monster. Like, that
Well, and
doesn't
it's
make
not like these
sense.
people were just seeing the monster, like it was hitting the top of the car.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
this was
interacting with them.
somebody that was testing a suit is not, like,
No.
attacking people for fun and hanging out in trees. Like, could it explain something? Because it is, crazy timing. But no, it doesn't. That is not what Mothman is.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it just,
if you're going with a conspiracy theory,
mhm.
maybe the government had something to do with all this, and they used this suit to cover up what was really happening. Maybe they were trying to harness some kind of new weapon, and it turned into a Mothman, and they were trying to recapture him, and they were like, well, crap, now we need a cover story. Put those suits out there. Like, I'm
Right.
not saying it's true. I still like my alien theory, but
well, then we get to, like, super soldier, which is like, I mean, yes, it's never been proven in the sense of, like, well, I'm pretty sure it's never been proven. No one's come forward saying, like, yeah, we tried to make a super soldier, because that seems like something that you wouldn't come forward and just tell people unless you had it. But we do know, especially during World War II, about all these different animal trying to harm, and they still do it to this day. I mean, in San Diego, there's the Navy base there literally trains dolphins and whales and seals for different things that they could use. I mean, we got that beluga that we found from Russia with the stuff. So like, yes, that could make sense. I don't see. I mean, I guess, if it is an escaped thing, like, he is probably pissed at humans. So he's like, why not fuck with people? Like, but at the same time, I feel like he wouldn't want to get that close to people because
he's running from the
yeah,
government.
he's running from the government. Like, I would just be like, I'm not going to go to Chicago, like a very populated place where I'm going to go to like the middle of Montana and just like make a log cabin and hang out there off the grid,
There is no way. And I understand that, like, for the most part, there's confidentiality in government and testing.
Mhm.
There is no way, if they had technology to make people fly, that wouldn't be publicized, or that private companies would. Like, that makes, like, the government conspiracy of we can do all these magical things and it's never gotten out. Like, you are putting a lot of faith in people to say that someone that had that technology wouldn't go out into the world and use it for personal gain. Like, I'm just not buying it.
Yeah. And I think that the only thing that I like am still apprehensive about, in the sense of, could it be someone that made their own, like, if one person in the military could make a flying suit, then like somebody else with the same knowledge, with the same techniques and stuff like that, could make their own. The one thing is that, like, always really brings me back to a place of like, could it be a major hoax, is the sense that red eyes are always talked about in, monsters. Every kind of monster, like almost probably every cryptid I've covered, someone has been like, and they had red eyes, because that's just always been the stereotypical scary thing. So that's the only thing that I'm like, it's a little stereotypical Mothman. I get it. If you can't change your eye color, that's fine. But maybe next time think about it. Think about it a little more. Maybe go purple, lilac, even. I don't know.
Isn't
Something
that a
else.
demonic thing, though?
It is.
Yeah.
But I mean, certain animal eyes, if you catch it the right light, it could, I mean, like my dog, when he runs around the backyard like an idiot, like 1 a.m., if he catches the light, the moon the right way, it turns red. And then I run away and scream because I'm not doing that.
Right.
And
Well,
we got time for a demon dog at night. So that specific sighting with the red eyes could have been a case of someone catching an animal and thinking it was something more,
that's true. I mean, and I think, yeah, I mean, again, like, demons all have red eyes, or at least, like when we see pictures of eyes staring back in, like, a place where there should not be eyes. Like, for example, in Zach Bagans' documentary, what was it? What was the house that he did?
Demon House.
Demon House. You get those eyes at the very end.
But then again, like, put a flash on both of your eye color and they will turn red sometimes.
That's true. That's why we have the red eye filter, so that it fixes it. But let's go back into, that was me divulging into like the super soldier experiments. But I think there are too many other things that explain other theories, and not that one, if that makes sense.
I'm with you.
You got the wrong crew for government conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Go back to the aliens.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just,
I mean, you know where you're at right now, right? You have one clear vote for demons and one clear vote for aliens, and now you have to tie break this.
I just don't know. I don't know if I can, because there's too much evidence for both, I guess. I don't know. Now that you brought it up, Alissa, I do really think, and I can't distinguish if it's because I think it's really cool,
mm-hmm.
or if I do believe that Mothman is something that now everything would like to know more about. That would make sense to me.
Well, especially if it's some kind of, like, let's say it's summoned by an impending,
mm-hmm.
Disaster, or, And the idea that that would be some kind of like energy, or you know what I mean, like something that would be palpable perhaps to aliens that are more sensitive to things going on, like that strikes me as what would bring, you know, whatever Mothman is to an area. Would that also bring aliens to an area? And I don't know if that's wormhole, like I don't know if, you know, that's something that it's like, here comes something big that's going to happen and now all this stuff sort of descends, which is an interesting way. You know, I kind of always think of wormhole as fixed, but I don't know if that's right. Like, does it have to stay in one place? Could it be based on, you know, negative energy around a disaster? I don't know the answer to that.
Good point.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing. Like, I don't think scientists even still have a firm enough grasp on energy sources and like energy conduits and all of that stuff to be able to give an answer to that sort of a question. I mean, from what we do understand about aliens, it would make complete sense that they would have that ability to understand how energy works. The thing that I guess, like, one, I don't think any disasters happened in Chicago in 2017. I don't recall any major disasters in 2017, and it didn't pop up in any of my research either. So then that begs the question of why was it in Chicago?
But maybe it was something was supposed to happen and someone prevented it from happening.
Could
maybe
be.
Everyone showed up, and maybe the aliens are like trying to save us or something because they were in the area too. Because they knew Mothman. Both of them they're all going to show up together.
Everybody's there.
They're all there.
When was it in 2017?
Like November, December, I believe.
So October of 2017, there was a flood, like Chicago River, but it stopped short.
Oh.
It overflowed like out of the actual river. There was a bunch of debris, but it stopped short of like a major damage. But it says that 2017 was a record-breaking year for natural disasters in the U.S.
I wonder if it was showing up because I thought it was going to be something bigger.
And the idea that it might have just been in more locations in 2017 and we didn't know it.
Yeah. I will say I did make a mistake. It was 2016. November of 2016 and July of 2016 were the sightings. So, but the flood thing is interesting. That is. And what else is also interesting is maybe now the aliens have some way of preventing these disasters from happening now that they understand like what this Mothman is doing.
But once again, if we're going back to like natural disasters and stuff, like where I live down here in Florida, we have hurricanes all the time. So like if it is attached to those kind of things, why is it still kind of staying up in that northern region? Right. I mean, you can't argue that it's attached to water disasters because we have tsunamis in Japan and hurricanes down here. So I still don't understand why it's still clustered in that general area of the United States.
I think also what's interesting though, because the places it's been, a mining accident, 2 bridge collapses, buildings, 9/11, buildings falling, and then swine flu is the only one that doesn't really make sense in there. Oh my gosh, I forgot you had swine flu.
I didn't have swine flu.
I did. Yeah, you gave it to me.
You're welcome.
And I took it to Disney.
You're welcome.
Yikes. That's like way less funny in the time of Corona.
Like now, yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. Now I'm all distracted. Isn't Pazuzu though? Wasn't he known for not only weather but famine and disease?
Yeah.
So that's on brand.
Yeah, okay. Pazuzu and Pazuzu is also known for just bad. I'm trying to find where
anarchy.
Like exactly. Wait, where did I put it? Oh,
I'm like trying to win points with Pazuzu now. I'm like, please don't bother. Like, I saw your picture. I'm not okay. Like,
so cool, dude.
I'm sorry I called you no neck. Like, can we be cool?
Oh,
please
danger.
Don't tell me you want to eat my light.
Yeah, I like my light.
I just don't want my light.
Yeah, danger and then other tragedies was the other thing. But I think there is something interesting in the sense of like what you're saying, Liz, like Mothman's not hanging down where, these horrible tsunamis or these horrible tornadoes even, or hurricanes are happening, where
Granted, I don't think anyone should ever come to the state of Florida.
I also think Mothman's like, I'm not gonna get sucked up into a cyclone of water. What, like, you think that I'm gonna survive that? No.
Here's a headline now. Florida man attacks Mothman with gator.
Chicago's homicide rate in 2016 was the highest it had been in 19 years. That's an interesting.
That's a different
factoid.
Mm-hmm.
762 murders.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of murders. A lot of murders.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that this demon or Mothman would decide to go to certain places and not others. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, maybe no one saw it there. I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't match its MO. I feel like it wants to be seen.
Yeah. Or like what locations is it picking to want to be seen and which ones are hiding, Right.
You're also you're giving a lot of credit to people for always saying what they saw. Like, that's I'm going to be honest with you. Like, mm-hmm. I think that there are probably a lot of sightings and a lot of reluctant witnesses that are like, I saw something, but I'm not going to do that to myself. Like, that's going to be a no for me. So,
yeah, that was like the guy from who took the video with his GoPro. He took the video not like on purpose. I think that I don't know how they did it, but he was like on the episode, he was very uncomfortable, and he didn't even show them the video. He showed them stills. And it wasn't an uncomfortable in the sense of like, you could tell he was hiding something. It was truly like, he was like, I don't want to sound crazy. Like, yeah. I don't want to sound crazy. I don't want to be known to be crazy. But I guess, what do you guys think about the pictures of like the sightings of Mothman?
I was hoping you had what you normally do, where people go through it and check the photoshopping, because these are like real good pictures. Mm-hmm. Like, it is hard to say like, nah, I don't believe that at all. Like, they look good. So
yeah,
I would love a good Photoshop check, because that's really sort of a big deal for me. But then again, you have multiple people taking pictures that are consistent, right?
Yeah. And they're not identical in the sense of like, it's a stamp.
Right.
They're identical in the sense of it looks like it would be the same thing. And it matches the early descriptions of like a winged creature with legs. And there's really no other, like, I think all the pictures were either taken
not a
like
crane.
Yeah, like, the other thing that I think is interesting is how its toes curl. I think that's kind of adorable. Maybe it's wearing like elf shoes.
I don't like toes.
Can't really see him.
Like a little bit.
He's got a real like gargoyle vibe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which would go with more their protection.
In Pennsylvania, there is a famous gargoyle cryptid that could be Mothman.
That's interesting. So that's sort of something that I would be interested in. Like, if we took a large scale, like some of these lesser reported local cryptids, mm-hmm. and said like, how many of these match Mothman, like Owlman and Pazuzu, like how many different things across the US, across the world, across different time periods do we have that are like consistent with Mothman? I think that would be huge, because it strikes me as not something that was, it's in all these art history artifacts, and then he showed up in Virginia real quick, flew through Chicago, and now he's gone. Like, he had to be in other places.
He's like, what else? I'm on vacation.
He's like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it real old school, Mesopotamia, and then I'm gonna chill for hundreds of years, and then I'm gonna roll up to Virginia, hit Chicago, and deuces.
He's like, what up, guys? Woo woo, my man in the house.
Alissa, did you just fall asleep?
Probably. You're not talking about aliens anymore, so I'm like.
You said, listen, I made my mind up. I made my decision. You don't have to convince me anymore. That's it. Yeah, I will say this, doing the research for this one, right next to Skinwalker Ranch was the most fun because of how, and Champ. I'll say Champ was a very fun thing to research.
Champ.
But I just, there are so many different things that I feel like they have to be intertwined in some way, and the only way that I could really figure out how to explain it would be that Mothman is some kind of independent supernatural like demon that harnesses some power that aliens are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly the government. I mean, I don't really know that that's something that humans are smart enough to understand yet. But Project Blue Book and everything, they're just trying to.
It's out of the realm, especially with all the UFO files just coming out. So
exactly, I think they're also just like trying to make sure that the UFOs aren't going to blow up the planet, which is fair. I think that's very fair to keep a little track on, little little post-it note in the back of the mind right there. But yeah, I think that Mothman is some kind of supernatural like demon who could have been called by Cornstalk, a great spirit of the land, and aliens are very fascinated by what it can do, or maybe aliens do want to stop it because who knows, maybe we were created by aliens.
Or they have
not to throw a wrench in this process, but this here gargoyle looks real alien-like.
No way. Really?
Mm-hmm. The Butler gargoyle.
Butler.
Real alien-like. Here, guys. Look, peep it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's an alien.
I like that guy. Yeah, you need to do this.
That's Count Chocula.
Oh, no, I want cereal.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I'm not. I just want cereal.
Can I go to the store at like 10:30 at night and get Count Chocula? Because that's what I want to do with my life.
Oh,
there's like another cereal that'll work.
Captain Crunch?
I don't have any cereal.
I'll eat any cereal. Also, all of the descriptions of the Butler gargoyle call it a Mothman-like creature.
When was he sighted? When was like?
It said 1993 to 2011 was the one thing I saw.
Whoa, that is a long time too.
Let's see.
It might be a gargoyle. That would make sense.
This one's 2011.
Yeah, I gotta do him.
Yeah, they discredit one because they were walking out of a bar, which seems rude. Okay, like,
but no, rude.
That's like the Champ lady that's like, that one had feet. It's from upstate New York. I don't know why I gave her a southern accent.
Well, I will say though that in her interview she does have a boondocky kind of an accent though.
Cha-ching.
Someone I work with sounds exactly like that, Jenna.
So yeah, we're gonna, Alissa, you think it's alien, right? That's what you're gonna go with?
I think I'm a hybrid. I think y'all convinced me to jump on a different train. I like my Mothra Godzilla theory.
It's really good. It's a really good theory. Jen, what do you think?
I think Mothman is a demon, and I think there are also aliens there. I don't know how related those two things are, but I'm not ruling out aliens being there. I'm all in on Mothman being a demon. He's just so much of a dick.
Yeah. Too much of a dick.
He's sending paranormal stuff to someone's house. Like, the idea that somebody comes and messes with a demon and then their house is like just super, super creepy. That's really on brand. Like, I don't think aliens are that petty.
I think they've got a lot of other things to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Right, like they're threats to people on the Men in Black side. It's not like I'm having fun torturing you. It's like, give me the information I need. I ain't got time for your games.
Yeah.
And I just feel like demons are like, oh, you want to come in here with a voice recorder? Hold my beer.
Yeah. Demons are like, I've got all the time for forever.
I will never die. I got all day.
All day. All day. All day. Whereas like Men in Black are like, I just want to punch out. I want to go home.
Yeah.
Just give me the fucking picture and let's call this a night.
I've worked 40 hours this week. Nobody's providing me the information I need. I don't want to do another OT abduction. And what I'm telling you is I've had enough.
I will get you, girl. Yeah, now give me your fucking evidence and I'm over this.
Pazuzu's like, where you at, hoes?
Zuzu's like,
Drive your car past me, look at me.
I just imagine also Mothman on the side of the road, like full on like mom jogging next to the car, like, oh yeah, you think you're fast? Mm-hmm.
Look at my eyes.
Bitch, I got my lashes done.
I got no neck.
It's gonna come after you. You keep saying no neck, it's coming.
I know. I called him petty too.
It's all downhill from here.
I don't like demons either.
No, firm pass.
Firm pass. Well, this was fun. I love you guys because you're my sisters, but I also like all of us talking together, like about crazy ass cryptid shit.
We should Zoom more often.
Oh, this is kind of our childhood, thanks to Mom, though.
That's what I've been saying.
Not me.
Yeah, you didn't. I mean,
how did you?
I think it was full blown with me.
How did you avoid? Maybe I just caught the ride with Josh. How did you avoid that, Jenna?
We were all SVU.
Oh, interesting.
What was it? It wasn't Criminal Minds. It was CSI Miami.
Yeah.
Mom and I were all crime shows. I think you caught Josh.
Yeah, I think I caught both waves. I caught the end of yours and then the beginning of Josh's. So
yeah. I think Mom just goes full in whatever her children are into.
No. She, when I was an infant, watched like the Menendez brothers trial on maternity leave or something. I grew up. I remember watching OJ Simpson stuff. Like, I never stood a chance.
That's what my first grade homework, my favorite TV shows were Law & Order SVU, CSI Miami, and SpongeBob.
Yep, that's on brand for us.
Plain and simple.
So I think cryptids were you guys.
Yeah, I think cryptids came from me because I obviously have some weird fascination with them. And hope one day I can make money off of it. So if there are any sponsors out there that would like to sponsor me, please hit me up at there's a lot of ways you can hit me up, but I'm broke and I need money. Thank you.
Well, Pazuzu's gonna donate.
Pazuzu, honestly, if you
don't talk to him directly.
No.
Never mind. I'm so sorry. Never mind. I take it back. Never mind. It's getting really warm in here now. Is he here? Okay, well, I guess I'm about to be eaten by a demon, so my light's gone. Womp womp. It's nice knowing you, I guess. Thanks for the listens.
Please be aliens. Please be aliens.
please be. I'm fine with getting abducted, honestly. I'm fine with it. Just like, please, just don't eat my light, please. Well, good luck, everybody. I hope your light doesn't get eaten. I think that's a great way to sign off. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you did great.
Good luck.
So, what do you think? Is the Mothman really out there? We are on Instagram, @OutThereCryptids, so make sure to follow us and tell us all of your thoughts on the cryptids we cover and what you'd like to hear next. It would mean a lot to us if you go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. It's a great way for others to find the podcast and enjoy, just like you. One week from today will be a special episode where I talk to a friend who has his very own Bigfoot encounter. See you next week.
Me. I don't do that before every episode. I don't do it.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't do it. Don't